And he is more content now to get a small part of it back instead of trying to make the big play back. Like here, he'll go to 3rd and 7 and try and force to get the first down and run the risk of having 3rd and long.
Even in that loss to the Giants in the opening game of the year, the offensive line didn't quite do its job, but Randall did throw for over 300 yards in that one. 3rd and 7. Pressure on Cunningham and a great catch by inside the 10.
Hey, this is good football. This is good defense. You got pressure. You got Cunningham standing in the pocket with patience. You have the ball gone and had some zip on it. You got Joseph with a great catch. Now watch the protection. Remember, we're talking about getting rid of it quicker. Still under 3 seconds. There's some zip in the ball, and Joseph with a great catch at the end. And then strong, powerful running. Watch the catch. Put that paw up, pull it right down, and then back inside. Now watch Houck come up. Run right through it. It's good all-around play.
6 catches for 38 yards for James Joseph and a first down at the 11-yard line. Cunningham fires to Barnett, who gets to the 1. And the play was blown dead at the 1-yard line. Doug Evans covering on the play. Again, you want to talk about quick release. Barnett was right there, and it'll be close to the first down. Eagles could get a first down without scoring when they started the last play.
Freddie Barnett has really impressed me. He came off that knee, and that's usually a 2-year injury, but he plays like nothing's ever happened. Heck, he's running, jumping, doing all the stuff that he usually does.
Made a great comeback, over 100 yards last week. 2nd and 1. Herschel Walker. And Walker may have the first down, and that's all the Eagles really wanted on that play. A new set of downs, and Houck, who's starting his first NFL games, arguing with Randall Cunningham. Well, he's getting into the action quickly.
Hey, he's not afraid. He's from Big Timber, Montana. I talked to him last night, and he said, look, I'm from South Central Montana. I said, is that like South Central LA? He said, no. He said, there must be gangs. No, you can see him in low.
How many gangs do they have?
He said there's 2 gangs, the hunting gang and the fishing gang. See, now Cunningham knows he's got a little DB, so he can grab him and start to be a tough guy. But Houck's not going to back down. Incidentally, I didn't like that. I didn't like that Houck went in low like that. I don't know what his thinking would have been.
That's how close it is for the first down.
And it's short.
By an inch.
No, by a link. Missed it by, Maxwell Smart, missed it by that much.
Well, the Eagles threatening, taking advantage of the Packer fumble.
There's Fritz Sherman, defensive coordinator of the Green Bay Packers.
3rd down and a link.
It was the missing link.
Cunningham. He'll have the first down, I'm sure. He got more than a link that time, but he did not cross the plane, and it should be a first down for the Eagles when they unfold it all.
Remember, you play Randall Cunningham in short yardage situations. Yeah, they're giving him 4th down now. They're saying he did not get it, but now he's waving him off.
Now the other official said, wait a minute.
Yes.
We're going to measure again.
You could hear Gary Lane say 4th down, and the other officials say, hold on. But Randall Cunningham in short yardage, he'll always take a drop step and then come off one of the guards.
They got to have it. They have to have it with only a few inches from the goal line, I would think. Maybe not. Plenty of time, plenty of room.
This is what Randall Cunningham likes to do. Watch, he'll take the drop step, see the step, and then he'll come and just get behind his guard, and he'll just kind of slide. And as it opens, he'll fall in.
Joseph, Walker, and O'Neal. With O'Neal on the wing. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Randall Cunningham, and now Kemper's flare again. And a penalty flag comes flying as well. Eagles have scored the touchdown, and they have their first lead of the game.
Cunningham again. You see, now this time, he just dives over the top.
And the Eagles lead it now 9-7, and Eddie Murray is out to try to give the Eagles a 10-7 lead, and he does. The kick is good. Randall Cunningham taking advantage of the turnover. There he is, crossing the plane face to face with a defender. The Eagles lead the Packers 10-7. Packers receiving the kickoff, and it's going to be Corey Harris. And a big play there by number 57, Mark Woodard. The Eagles are in a roused bunch right now.
Yeah, they got a lot of excitement going because of what Randall Cunningham did on the goal line. Now watch his eyes. Watch the eyes where he knows where he's going to go, and then he knows he's going to get hit. See the eyes get big? Now here comes the hitter. So put your head down. Goes right under Willis, and that gets him in the end zone. That's a beautiful shot.
Earl Dotson has replaced Paul Hutchins at right tackle. The Eagles have been perfect in the red zone so far this year. First down on the 23. Favre lost the ball. Completes it to Brooks. Packers were very lucky there, and Brett Favre got a perfect bounce.
Yeah, that's the second time this year that's happened. Ball slipped out of his hands. Last he's laughing. He can't believe it. You know, ball slipped out. He picked it back up, threw it again for a loss of 1.
Packers are shaken up at right tackle. Paul Hutchins has the bruised knee, and Dotson has replaced him. And of course, they also lost their starter, Joe Sims, who had a sprained left arch. So they've been banged up on that side. Second down and 11 on the 22. Favre's pass caught. No, it's dropped by Sharp. Sterling Sharp has had the drop today.
Third drop of the day. He's working McMillan. He'll drive upfield, break outside. This ball's where it's got to be. There's no excuse for that. None.
Sharp, only 4 catches thus far for 26 yards. And
yes,
3 drops.
At least 7 opportunities. It's not a good day.
Third down and 11. LaShawn Johnson, the lone back, with 4 wide receivers. And Favre goes down again. Bert Grossman with his second sack of the year at number 4 for the Philly defense today.
Oh, Big Bert. You know, he's a guy, he says, look, I don't want anybody to hit me. I don't want to hit anybody. I just want to get to the quarterback.
That's actually his 3rd of the year, to tie him with William Fuller for the club leadership. Craig Hendrick will kick for the 3rd time. Seidner and Bailey. Not a long kick, not a good kick, and a fair catch called for by Victor Bailey in Packer territory. So once again, the Philadelphia Eagles have momentum on their side, and the ball in Green Bay territory after the 31-yard kick. Aerial shots of today's Fox NFL Sunday and the surrounding Philadelphia area provided by the MetLife Blimp. Snoopy won.
I think Snoopy may have gained some weight because he's tipping that blimp. I think he lost his equilibrium there.
Don't ever tip your blimp.
Don't tip your blimp. They tipped it last weekend. It ended on the ground up in New York.
Eagles start from the 45 of the Packers after the 31-yard punt, and there's a fake to Calvin Williams. And a good block by James Joseph on the other side.
Yeah, but very well done by George Kuntz, 53. That's a beautiful cat and mouse job. You know you're outside with no help at all. You have to buy time. The reverse is going to come back. He's going to come all the way back. And now Kuntz, 53, sees it, Now he's got one man in front of him, and look at, no help. Look at this. Now watch, cat and mouse. See this? Just buy some time, throw him, and come back. Very well done by George Coombs.
And a gain of only 5 with that trickery. It'll be 2nd and 5 at the 40. Here's Joseph, who is hit high and low for a short gain. And right now, let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio. JB.
Hey, Dick, Minnesota is rubbing it in Chicago's face. Eric Kramer is picked off. #1 draft pick Dwayne Washington, youngest starting quarterback that is in the league, 81-yard return for the touchdown. Minnesota on top 28-0. Back to Dick and Matt.
Big game for Dennis Green and the Vikings at Soldier Field today.
And a big down right here for the Philadelphia Eagles and the Green Bay Packers.
3rd down and 8. 2 tight ends. Barnett in motion. 3 tight ends now, and Cunningham's pass caught. They'll have the 1st down, and Fred Barnett is the man again.
That was all Fred Barnett. That ball is thrown behind him, and he just uses that body part awareness. That's called the kinesthetic sense. See that? Come all the way back inside. That's not easy to do. That's a hard throw to come back on and make the catch because Cunningham had some zip on it.
Barnett, the leading receiver for the Eagles, gives them a 1st down on the Packer 33. Under 8 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Cunningham throws the ball away just before he was hit. Barnett was the receiver downfield, but Cunningham just got rid of it with pressure coming up.
Well, he had a lot of time to throw the footballs because everybody was covered, but watch the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line. You're going to see everybody, first of all, boom, get the hands up. Now look, that's a good job. There's all kinds of time. You got the pocket for him. No place to throw the football, and that allows Kuntz to make his 3rd play, get the pressure in the last 4 plays.
Last 2 possessions for the Eagles have started in Packer territory. They face a 2nd down 10. Cunningham takes off. Flag down on maybe a late hit, and Cunningham is angry.
Yeah, they corralled him.
Corey Harris. Randall picks up 12.
They're going to give it unnecessary. But you know, you saw right there, Randall Cunningham, in his interview with James Brown prior to the game, personal foul, number 20 on the defense, unnecessary roughness, 15-yard penalty, 1st down. And he talked about now, as Corey Harris gets him around the neck, that's what they're called, man. He kept it going. But he's saying now he'll go down. He won't try to run through somebody. And it's what Jim Plunkett told me years ago when he first watched Randall Cunningham. He said, there are a lot of good old throwing quarterbacks, but there aren't any good old run quarterbacks.
Wants to survive is all you want to do. By the way, they said 20, but they meant 30, Corey Harris. 1st down, Eagles on the Packer 11. Handoff inside to Herschel Walker. It'll be 2nd down with 7:15 to go. Eagles in front, 10-7. As the Eagles have taken advantage of a Packer turnover and scored a touchdown here in the 3rd quarter.
Big John Yurkovich down there in the middle of that pile. And there's a player who understands and plays with great awareness. Knows where everybody is around him and understands his role. John Yurkovich, one of my favorite players in the league. And that's a great shot.
2nd down and 8 on the 9. Cunningham's pass. Calvin Williams took a hit after that ball sailed by, incomplete.
And he got some pressure from Yurkovich. Now, as a nose guard, you know, you're going to watch him right here. You know that you're always going to be double teamed. And that's his job. So he'll take up 2 to free up 1. And then at the end, he'll work to the outside and get the pressure and force the throw.
There's your man, Yurkovich. 3rd down and 8. They can get a 1st down without scoring. Cunningham swings it out. Pass thrown a little bit too hard for Herschel Walker.
Well, he had to throw it because my guy Yurkovich was right there again. He went with the old Freddie the Flintstone dipsy doodle spin. Watch him right in here. Okay, he's going to take, he'll start.